Tripathi, who looks after Oceania Division. She's the Joint Secretary looking after Oceania Division in the Ministry of External Affairs. As also, we have our High Commissioner in Fiji, uh, Mr. Sunit Mehta, sorry, who's with us. With that, I invite uh, Secretary Madam to give her opening remarks, after which we'll take some questions from the floor. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Randhir. A very good afternoon, friends from the media. Thank you for joining this special briefing on the ongoing visit of the Prime Minister Sitiveni Rabuka of Fiji to India. I shall start with the program first. As you all probably know, Prime Minister Rabuka arrived yesterday on 24th of August. He was warmly received by Dr. Sukanta Majumdar, Minister of State for Education and Development for Northeast Region, and he was accorded a static guard reception. Prime Minister Rabuka is accompanied by Minister for Health and Medical Services, Mr. Antonio Lala Balawu, and a delegation comprising of senior officials. Yesterday, Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Shri J.P. Nadda, called on Prime Minister Rabuka, and PM Rabuka also visited a super specialty hospital. Today is the main day of the official bilateral engagements. This morning, PM Rabuka visited Rajghat to pay tribute to Father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi. This was followed by extensive bilateral talks at the Hyderabad House. The talks covered the entire gamut of bilateral relations, including political cooperation, high-level engagements, trade, agriculture, education, healthcare, mobility, defense, capacity building, and people-to-people ties. The two leaders also shared the perspective on regional and global issues, including on multilateral cooperation. The two leaders also witnessed the exchange of 9 bilateral documents or MOUs. These are construction and commissioning, operation and maintenance of a super specialty hospital in Fiji, an agreement on supply of medicines under our Jan Aushadhi scheme, an MOU on cooperation in standardization between Bureau of Indian Standards and Department of National Measurement and Standards, which is the counterpart body of BIS in Fiji. Another MOU was on the cooperation in the field of human capacity, skilling and upskilling between National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology of India and Pacific Polytechnic of Fiji, on Indian grant assistance for implementation of quick impact projects. A declaration of intent on migration and mobility was also exchanged, and the Fijian side handed over lease deed of Indian Chancery Building in Suva to our High Commissioner. I may mention the other two MOUs that were concluded on the sidelines. One was between Confederation of Indian Industry, or CII, and Fiji Commerce and Employment Federation, FCEF. The second one was between National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD, and Fiji Development Bank. A number of initiatives to enhance our ongoing development cooperation with Fiji were also announced. The announcements made included: one, a visit of parliamentary delegation and of Great Council of Chiefs from Fiji to India in 2026, a port call by an Indian naval ship to Fiji in 2025, creation of the post of Defense Attaché in High Commission of India, Fiji, gifting of 2 ambulances to Royal Fiji Military Forces, establishment of a cyber security training cell in Fiji. Fiji has announced joining the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative of India. We also announced supply of mobile soil testing laboratories to Ministry of Sugar Industry and Multi-Ethnic Affairs of Fiji. Supply of agricultural drones to Sugar Research Institute of Fiji under the Ministry of Sugar Industry and Multi-Ethnic Affairs. Deputation of a Hindi cum Sanskrit teacher, actually associate professor to University of Fiji. Deputation of a cricket coach from India for Cricket Fiji, which is their organization. We have also announced deputation of an ITech expert to Fiji Sugar Corporation and special ITech training for sugar industry staff of Fiji. Indian ghee gets access to Fijian market. As you all know, it's a very important cuisine of Indian cuisine. Support for training for a cohort of Pandits from Fiji in India has also been announced. We shall be also having a second Jaipur foot camp in Fiji and a specialized medical treatment in Indian hospitals under the Heal in India program for a certain number of Fijians. The joint statement, which has been agreed between the two countries, has been released, I think, shortly. I'm told later today. It has already been released, and it has the details of all the bilateral documents as well as the announcements. Both prime ministers made brief press statements after the exchange of MOUs. A banquet lunch was hosted by Prime Minister Shri Modi in favor of the visiting Prime Minister Rambuka, and his delegation at the Hyderabad House. As regards the other elements of the program, today PM Rambuka will also call on Honorable Rashtrapati Ji at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Tomorrow, on 26th of August, PM Rambuka will visit the UIDAI headquarters, the National Defence College, and a Jan Aushadhi Kendra. PM Rambuka will deliver a talk on Ocean of Peace at the Indian Council of World Affairs. It's tomorrow at 16:30. So those of you who are interested are welcome to join. He will depart for Fiji from New Delhi on 27th of August. Now, as regards the significance of the visit, this is PM Rambuka's first visit to India in his current capacity. In fact, we've had a series of high-level visits between India and Fiji in the recent past. Honorable Rashtrapati Ji had visited Fiji last year in August 2024. And during that visit, PM Rambuka had called on the President. PM Modi met PM Rambuka in May 2023 on the sidelines of the third FIPIC summit in Port Moresby. And several ministerial visits have also taken place from both sides. In fact, I'm told that since the current government came to power, 22 ministerial visits have taken place between the two countries, including the visits of all three deputy prime ministers of Fiji to India. These high-level exchanges serve as an important strategic platform to advance our cooperation in diverse spheres. India and Fiji have historical and cultural ties. Fiji, with its significant Indian diaspora and historical connections to India, holds a place of special importance, and development assistance is the key pillar of our bilateral cooperation, and we have taken a number of initiatives in this regard. I think I shall stop here for the time being and then take some questions.
Okay. First, we go with Keshav.
Thank you. Keshav Padmanabhan from The Print. I just wanted to ask about the defense and security partnership, because there are, I think, 3 paragraphs on the joint statement regarding this, as well as the Prime Minister's mentioned it in their statement. So what are the sort of themes that we're looking at in terms of the defense and security partnership, maritime security? Some clarity on that I would be grateful for. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Rishikesh.
Rishikesh from PTI. So, Fiji Prime Minister has openly opposed China's military bases in this Pacific region, and today PM Modi has announced that India has prepared action plan in strengthening defense and security. So, has Fijian Prime Minister shared reasons for opposing China's military bases and the reasons for supporting our action plan? Yes.
Mm-hmm. You have a question there? Yeah.
Hi, this is Parul Chandra. I'm an independent journalist. My question is, what strategic role does India see Fiji playing within the larger framework of the Indo-Pacific, especially given China's growing footprints in the Indo-Pacific region?
Mm-hmm. Aisha.
Madam, this is Anangsha Macha. Akhil Deoshing, a key minister, which is the employment minister of Fiji, once announced that they are working to increase the skill levels in taking capacity from India. So is there any talks on upskilling Indian youths as well as employing Indian as well?
Thank you. Thank you for your questions. Let me begin with defense and security. I think we have an MOU on defense with Fiji already, and last month we had the first meeting of the JWG on defense cooperation. A number of areas were outlined for collaboration between the two countries. We have also announced establishment of a post of defense attaché in the High Commission of Fiji, who will be covering the Pacific Islands as well. As of now, I think our defense and security collaboration is focused on enhancing the maritime capabilities of Fiji by providing capacity building and training. There have been some requests of the equipment also, so we are looking at that also. Overall, in the Indo-Pacific region, Fiji is a valued partner in the Indo-Pacific. In fact, you may recall that Prime Minister Modi had visited Fiji within 6 months of his taking over in 2014. And that is when we had launched the Forum for India and Pacific Island Cooperation, FIPIC as we call it, during his visit. Fiji is a kind of a regional hub in the Pacific. It provides important air and shipping links to the other countries in the region and plays an important role in the regional body, which is called Pacific Island Forum, also in the other regional bodies and institutions of the Pacific. Currently, they are chairing the Melanesian Spearhead Group, which is a sub-regional organization, MSG, comprising of 4 countries. It also hosts the headquarters of Pacific Island Forum and the prestigious University of Pacific, which is University of South Pacific. In fact, many of our projects, which are aimed at social and development progress of the entire Pacific region, are also located in Fiji. For instance, SCORI, which is the Sustainable Coastal and Ocean Research Institute, which we set up in 2024, and also the IT Center, they are in Suva. In fact, the super specialty hospital that we announced today, which is being constructed in Suva and will be also operated by India, is also expected to cater to the entire Pacific region. So together, India and Fiji are committed to advancing our shared vision of peace, prosperity, and sustainable development in the region. Fiji has also joined many of our global initiatives. In fact, it's a member of GBA, it's a member of also ISA. It has also member of Coalition for Disaster Resilience Infrastructure. In fact, that's a very important part of our collaboration because disaster relief and climate change are 2 issues which are very, very dear to all the Pacific Island states. And during this visit, Fiji has also announced joining IPOI, that is Indo-Pacific Ocean Initiative. So in a number of areas, I think together we are collaborating in order to have a free, open, inclusive, and sustainable Pacific Ocean. Regarding the PM action points, I think PM has announced today, and we are also, in fact, looking at enhancing our collaboration both bilaterally as well as in the regional forum, that is Forum for Indo-Pacific, Forum for India, for India. Forum for India Pacific Island Cooperation. And we have had several meetings. In fact, we also organized a conference on sustainable development in the recent past. And we have been having meetings even on the sidelines. In fact, even in UNGA on the sidelines, we have been meeting 6 countries. So there are a number of areas where I think we are collaborating together. Regarding the skills level, I think we have signed today the Declaration of Intent for Migration and Mobility. This should improve the, going of professionals and students and other semi-skilled personnel to India, to Fiji from India. In fact, Fiji also already grants visa on arrival to Indians, so there is no specific requirements from the Indian side for travel of Indians to Fiji. Mr. Agni Dev Singh, Minister of Labour of Fiji, had visited India in February this year, and he has underlined that Fiji has shortages in several sectors, and there's a discussion going on in this regard on how to enhance mobility of labour and professionals to Fiji. And as I said, we have already signed the Declaration of Intent on Migration and Mobility, and that should be helpful in this regard. Thank you.
Thank you. Neeraj?
जी नमस्कार, मैं नीरज दुबे प्रभा साक्षी से। मेरे दो सवाल हैं। एक तो आतंकवाद का भी जिक्र आया है, तो इसमें क्या पहलगाम आतंकी हमले पर खास तौर पर बातचीत हुई? दूसरा, कृषि क्षेत्र में जो समझौते हुए हैं उसमें हम 12 एग्री ड्रोन और 2 मोबाइल सॉइल टेस्टिंग लैब्स वगैरह देने जा रहे हैं, तो ये भारतीय कृषि स्टार्टअप्स के लिए भी वहाँ संभावना के द्वार खोल रहे हैं?
Divya?
Hi, Divya from Indian Express. We spoke about the migration and mobility agreement. You said there are some sectors. Could you specify what sectors and when do we plan to make it actionable, the agreement?
Ma'am?
I'll take these two first. Yes, certainly, as you said, some of the, let me start with the second question first. Some sectors where we see enormous possibilities. I would list out, I think, at least 3, 4. One, of course, agriculture. Second, fisheries. Third, construction. And fourth, tourism. I'll elaborate. I think in the area of agriculture, if you notice in Fiji, where people from India had gone as indentured labor for sugar plantations, now their sugar industry is going down. In fact, it's happening in many small island developing states that the agriculture sector is not very prominent anymore, whereas people had gone there as indentured labor for sugar cane plantations, for cocoa plantations, etc. But over the years, tourism has evolved so much that the entire focus is on tourism. In some island countries, you have oil and gas like Trinidad and Tobago, so they are more focused on that. So there is a over dependence on tourism. So that is why the other sectors of the economy have not developed very well. So that is the reason, in fact, and this has happened also post-COVID when tourism took a big hit, that many of these countries are trying to diversify their economies and are looking for skilled labor and skilled professionals from abroad. So agriculture is an area where we see enormous possibilities. We already have an MOU on agriculture with them. We are supplying agriculture drones as is listed in the joint statement. And that is an area which we consider as an area of our strength. And Fiji has a very conducive climate. There's plenty of rainfall, and as of now, the agriculture is very, very limited. So I definitely see a lot of possibilities for our entrepreneurs, for joint ventures, etc. And they have the possibility of leasing the land. And so there is a possibility of contract farming. We also discussed today the possibility of natural farming, etc. So there are a lot of possibilities in that sector. Second, I think today Prime Minister shared that there's a lot of construction that they are expecting would happen. They are planning to have a new airport. They are planning to have another port. They are also planning to construct, tourism-related infrastructure. Like there are no hotels, not enough hotels in that country. So that is another area where we see a lot of possibility. Tourism-related infrastructure also has possibilities because it's a country which has nearly 9,28,000 people, but it receives over 1 million tourists per annum. It's more than their population. Majority of the tourists are from Australia and also New Zealand and USA, but there's not much tourist traffic from India to Fiji. So there's a possibility of, say, wedding destination, Fiji's development as a wedding destination, Fiji's development as a destination for our Bollywood. So there are a lot of possibility in the tourism sector. Similarly, in the fisheries sector as well, they have, I think, some possibilities for tuna processing. In fact, India imports tuna from Fiji, but fisheries as an industry hasn't developed that much. So, and we are again, I think we are really a big power in fisheries nowadays. We are the largest in the shrimp production. We are also venturing into pearl farming, I think, which is a very promising area for the South Sea countries, because South Sea pearls, as we know, are world famous. They do some pearl farming, but on a very small scale. So in the pearl farming sector, in the fisheries sector, also they have a lot of corals, but I think they kind of export raw corals and there's no coral jewelry, etc. So those are the allied kind of sectors where there's a lot of possibility. So these are the areas I think where we see a lot of enormous possibilities. आतंकवाद जैसा कि आपने कहा, बिल्कुल उन्होंने इनफैक्ट हमें काफ़ी सपोर्ट किया था जब पहलगाम का इंसिडेंट हुआ था, तो वहाँ से एक बहुत अच्छी एक स्टेटमेंट आई थी. उन्होंने कहा था कि हम भारत के साथ खड़े हैं. आज भी हमारी जो बातचीत के दौरान उन्होंने इस बात को दोहराया. और वो ये भी चाहते हैं कि टेररिज्म पे इंडिया पहल करके पूरे वर्ल्ड में एक लीडरशिप पोजीशन ले। तो इस पे टेररिज्म के इश्यूज पे हम दोनों कंट्रीज में काफ़ी आपस में एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग है और वो हमें इन मुद्दों पे काफ़ी सपोर्ट करते हैं। थैंक यू। कृषि, आई प्रिज्यूम आई कवर्ड, सो थैंक यू।
सचिन, आपका सवाल है, बताइए।
मैं सचिन बुधोलिया हूँ हिंदुस्तान समाचार से। मेरा सवाल ये है कि क्या यहाँ से फिजी के लिए डायरेक्ट कनेक्टिविटी फ्लाइट हमारी सीधी चलती है, क्योंकि टूरिज्म को जैसे आपने बताया कि भारत का एक टूरिज्म का मार्केट वो लोग एक्सप्लोर करना चाहते हैं, तो डायरेक्ट कनेक्टिविटी को लेकर के क्या हम लोग कर रहे हैं?
Keshav, you have a follow-up question?
Thank you so much, sir, for permitting me a second question. This is with regards to the Keshav Padmanabhan from the print again. This is with regards to the $75 million line of credit that was agreed to in 2014 when the Prime Minister visited. Can you give us a sense of whether this line of credit has elapsed and if there are negotiations for further development assistance through such financial instruments arising from this visit? Thank you.
Thank you. On the direct connectivity, I do realize that it's a major challenge. In fact, when I recently visited Fiji, many of these business people had mentioned, challenges of shipping links and connectivity between our two countries. But you see, India doesn't have a national carrier as of now, and Fiji Airways has limited operations. In fact, they fly to Singapore. They also fly to Hong Kong, and they fly, I think, a little bit between Australia, New Zealand, and I think one or two of the other islands. So as of now, they have, I think, not enough planes, though it's a very good airlines. I am told that it is listed as a very safe and popular airline. But we have, as of now, no connectivity, direct connectivity in the sense, no direct air connectivity, because we do not have a national carrier. So it's essentially within the hands of the private airlines. In fact, it is for them, but we are ready to facilitate if any of our airlines want to kind of have a code sharing arrangement or to fly directly. We will be very happy to facilitate and provide the necessary civil aviation support. The other thing I would like to add that its connectivity is more than physical when it comes to Fiji. There's a lot of connections in the historical and cultural and linguistic field. As you know, nearly 1/3 of the population is of Indian origin there, and Hindi is the official language in Fiji. In fact, this government has also made it a vernacular language also for the parliament. So it is spoken in the parliament. We also have a cultural center there, which teaches Indian languages as well as the Indian music and dance, etc. We have enormous religious connections. In fact, they had come for the Ayodhya kind of that ceremony which took place for the Ramlala Mandir. As well as I think we have a lot of kind of connections between the two communities. In fact, they celebrate Girmit Day every day on the 15th of day. They celebrate Yoga Day, etc. So there are more than I think physical connectivity connections. Those are other connectivity connections. And now also is an era of digital connectivity. So there are, I think I would look at connectivity in so many other ways as well. I would like to also say about these loans. Actually, our development partnership is our key pillar, when it comes to Fiji. And we've been assisting them with all three forms. We are doing grant in aid projects. We are providing them lines of credit, concessional loans, and we also provide training and capacity building. So we had given them two LOCs for the sugar industries in the past, one for the $50 million, 50.4 actually, and the other for $5.8 million. And we have done numerous other projects in various areas. But this 70 million, which was announced, I think this we are awaiting these are the lines which were extended to the Fiji Sugar Corporation, and the work under these LOCs have been completed. completed, and I think as of now there is no more project under the LOC as far as we understand. So that is about the LOC, but a lot is happening, under the development cooperation program of ours through granting in projects, which again we do it, bilaterally. We also do it under the FIPIC banner, and we also have what we call India UNDP Cooperation Fund. So we do that we do projects under that as well. Thank you.
You have a question or?
On the defense equipment, what kind of equipment are we looking at? Is it going to be patrol boats? Is it going to be aircraft like we provided to the Maldives, the Dorniers? So can you be a little more specific on what kind of equipment we will be providing to Fiji? Thank you.
Thank you. As I said, when it comes to defense and security, we are focusing on basically training and capacity building. And we have also had port calls by our visits, by our ships. And we have also focused on HADR, humanitarian and assistance and disaster relief. We are essentially focusing on enhancing the maritime capabilities of Fiji so that they could deal with the challenges of security in their region, which is also disaster management, because their countries are vulnerable to natural disasters, cyclones, etc. We are also building upon they also have this issue of IUU, illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. So for that as well, we are supporting them. We had the first meeting of JWG only recently. So I think the two sides are working on how we can collaborate with them. We are setting up a cyber security cell. I think we are also supplying, we have announced today, we will be supplying sea ambulances to the Fiji military forces. So there are a lot of areas which we are exploring as of now. And I think the basic is we want to kind of collaborate in the regional security architecture, so that our shared vision of having a free, open, inclusive, and peaceful and sustainable Indo-Pacific is there for everybody. Thank you.
फिजी की आधिकारिक भाषाओं में हिंदी भी शामिल है, तो चलिए इस बार इस प्रेस वार्ता को हिंदी में खत्म करते हैं। आप सभी के भागीदारी के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आगे इस दौरे के बारे में हमसे जुड़े रहिए और क्या होता है इसके बारे में जानने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद।
This. What's up?
Irritants, part of life. Don't make them part of your period. Choose better. Choose MEA. All-night comfort pads with zero irritation promise. Periods, now irritation-free. Sister would have been better. MEA, better for her.
हॅलो, नमस्कार आमदार साहेब, मी पैसे वाढवा इन्व्हेस्टमेंट बँक मधून बोलतोय. आम्ही तुमचे पैसे 10 पटीने वाढवू शकतो. आम्ही तुम्हाला ग्रुप मध्ये ऍड केलंय आणि प्रूफ पण पाठवलंय, चेक करा. अहो, खूपच कमाल आहे. माझेही पैसे वाढवा. सर, ग्रुप मध्ये जे सांगता ना ते करत जा तुम्ही. अच्छा, हा असं आहे तर मग
काळजी करू नका. ज्या नंबरवरून तुम्ही फोन केलाय ना त्या नंबरला ट्रेस करतील पोलीस 2 मिनिटात आणि पकडून तुम्हाला आत करतील.
अरे सर, हे काय केलं?
तुमच्यासारख्या सुशिक्षित माणसाला ही लोक एका अनोळखी बनावट इन्व्हेस्टमेंट ग्रुपचा मेंबर बनून तुम्हाला फसवतात.
आम्हाला फसवतात.
हो,
अगर आप भी लेना चाहते हैं देश दुनिया की तमाम जानकारी तो आज ही सब्सक्राइब करें हमारे चैनल को। साथ ही नीचे दिए बेल आइकन को जरूर दबाएं ताकि हर अपडेट आप तक पहुंच सके।